And in a follow-up, a private school in Ashland is right down the street from the emergency shelter that's going in. It'll open on November 1st, and while the school and the neighborhood is supportive of rehousing efforts that are being done there, they're concerned about the long-term emergency shelter and how people will be using it and how it will be filtered with background checks. I spoke to the school's administrator about what her school is doing to add safety measures for the kids.
Already for some years now, we've been looking into how can we up the security measures. With this project happening, we now know we really have to do that.
The Siskiyou School and surrounding neighborhoods have seen an uptick in problems with unhoused people, including trash, graffiti, and trespassing. Now with the homeless shelter, there's concern for children's safety as they commute to school.
It's mostly using the bike path that makes me still a little nervous. We can't do anything about that though, so we'll have to watch how it goes.
The school had a positive meeting with the city last Wednesday and will even be receiving a grant to secure the school grounds. And how does that make you guys feel?
It's great. I'm super grateful to the city for doing that for us.
The school has a public easement that goes right along the school. The grant will go to fencing to secure the school from the public walkway, as well as fencing in the school like all the other elementaries across Ashland. The shelter was bought and created with funding from the state. Governor Tina Kotek signed an emergency bill into place that provided funding if communities created resources for homeless.
The goal is not to build more shelters. The goal is to provide a place for people to get safe and stable.
When Governor Kotek was in town, I asked her what she's doing to hold homeless accountable and make sure they follow laws and regulations of the shelter going up in Ashland. What are you doing to kind of continue with overall making sure that situations are getting solved?
Yeah. Well, I think the number one thing the state can do that I am committed to is really working with local communities to address the issue that's happening in their communities.
Many people in the Ashland neighborhood expressed concerns that the 30-bed shelter will not receive funding past January when the governor's declaration ends. But she said that shelters across the state will receive funding if they work to rehouse people.
Cities have the right, residents have the right to set some boundaries of where people can be in terms of sleeping outside. And just moving people around is not going to solve the issue. So that's why we've been focused on more shelter beds, rehousing money.
The Siskiyou School did ask if Ashland police could patrol regularly and maybe even check the campus and nearby park they use for recesses every day. Police said they don't currently have the resources to do so.
But certainly if law enforcement is needing more support, I'm open to that conversation.
The neighborhood and school have a communication line open with the city as the shelter is set to open on November 1st.